United States government still has the neighbors banging on the walls because I'm sitting here praying out loud, talking to God about them following Saturn, the Antichrist. And basically, when I was telling you guys that they're following Saturn because they had Nicki Minaj, that's not even her real name, but they had her marry a dude named Petty, and then had her speaking at the UN when knew the United Nations was making a joke about people dying in Africa, and sent her up there to talk about it when she ain't got no common sense whatsoever. But she married a person named Petty. Well, the book that I'm reading talks about Saturn, Chronos. The star of Saturn makes those born under him petty, malicious, having many anxieties, who bring themselves down, solitarity, deceitful, those who conceal their deceit, downcast, those who have a feigned appearance. It talks about how they're oppressive, how they cause obstacles, sluggishness, stagnation, inaction. So basically, this is what the United States government is using to economically sabotage me, with Heather Teresa Carson Perkins and federal judges. It talks about them. Let's see what else it talks about. It talks about basically they're using planets, astronomy to target civilians, and select presidents and public officials. Then they had the neighbors assaulting me this morning at 4 a.m., starting this morning at 4 a.m., assaulting me with direct energy weapons, banging on the walls. Then they had Bay Lawrence, because Bay means moon. They had him because, they like to worship the moon and Saturn, the United States government, the Antichrist group. That's why they're blocking the sun with chemtrails. That's why they moved the Bahamas Prime Minister's son, fake wife, next door. They got her banging on the walls and assaulting me with direct energy weapons. And then they put Herschel Walker over as ambassador to Bahamas because he can't read. He didn't have an education, so they hurried him up to get a quick education to finish his education. Then they made him ambassador to the Bahamas. He was talking about there's vampires when he was on stage running for Georgia Senate. He was absolutely right when he said that. What he meant by that is that the United States government is sacrificing children, going around having people engage in cannibalism, because there was a video going around of Chrissy Teigen talking about, do you think it's okay to eat a little bit of a baby's skin? No, it's not okay to be a cannibal. It says so in the Bible. So they're going around drinking babies' blood, kidnapping kids, and having GBI send me fake alerts when they know they're not looking for black children because they stole them to engage in rituals. So they're over here taking black children. That's why there's so many missing black children. You wonder why your child is gone. The United States government has stole your child, and that's why they're not helping you to look for your child, because they stole your child. Just like when I sent information to GBI telling them to stop targeting me with the neighbors banging on the walls, flying military helicopters over my home, engaging in instruction with counterintelligence agencies. They told me it's not illegal and to stop emailing them. Of course, it is illegal. It's civil conspiracy, but the United States government counterintelligence Antichrist occult division believes that it's not, believes that it's okay to sit here and target and terrorize people while they got people out there committing cannibalism, scaring children and drinking their blood. You have Ellen DeGeneres, she likes to drink baby's blood. A lot of the celebrities, a lot of the politicians, you got Lady Gaga going around eating blood. I seen her scooping blood, or they made blood of a gelatin for some party they was attending. That's why you had her singing at the White House and nonsense. She can't sing with her short neck. The reason why they put her there, because it talks about short necks in the cult books. So, Lady Gaga sacrificed her best friend, her and Beyonce. They both sacrificed their best friend. Beyonce went around wearing a Leah shirt when they had Aaliyah murdered in the Bahamas. That's why they got Bahamas Prime Minister's son, fake wife next door. They don't kill the apostle, Dr. Miles Monroe, in the Bahamas. They flew him and his wife, who's also an apostle and a pastor, they flew them into a crane to sacrifice them for whatever occult rituals that they was committing over the territory of the Bahamas, coordinating with the United States government. So they over here targeting, harassing me because I know what's going on. So they're pissed off, harassing me with sirens, because mythological books talk about sirens and kappas are basically mythological creatures or demons that the a divine fake nine, Kamala Harris, and her tomb sleeping fraternity brothers that they moved next door. Dr. Jamil Angelo Menace, he's a Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, along with Raphael Warnock, who's a fake pastor over there at Ebenezer Baptist Church, siphoning energy from his congregation when he gets up every morning and pretends to preach on Sunday, knowing full and well he sleeps in tombs. He sleeps in tombs. All his line brothers sleep in tombs. They sacrifice fraternity pledges when they're crossed, and that's why there have been so many murders of fraternities and sororities when they pledge, because they over there sacrificing them. So the United States government knows I know this. They're doing it with the Freemasons, the 13 fake bloodlines. That's why the Rothschild dude, he on his sixth heart. He can't have no more hearts. He can't have no more hearts. It's time for him to go. He need to go ahead down to the pit, because they had Michael Furnack walking by my house several times with pit shirts on, and they was carrying shovels because they like to intimidate and harass people. Well, it's time to go ahead and send that sixth Rothschild down to the pit to face all the demons that he has created with the United States Antichrist government. They waiting for about two of them witches y'all got. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Y'all got two main witches. Y'all got a bunch of warlocks going around. Them warlocks got to go. They're creating too much evil on the in the universe that the God's not happy about. So it's time for y'all to be dealt with. It's time for y'all to be dealt with. All these fake courts locking people up because of their names and stuff, or their birth dates, lying in police reports, got fake witnesses that are FBI threat liaisons lying. They've been doing this for a while. They've been doing this for a while, the United States government. So they're pissed off that everybody's aware of it. Ibrahim Traore for Burkina Faso was talking about how the United States, well, he didn't say the United States, but I'm going to say it. It's United States and France. It's focused on imperialism because it says so in the Bible. They like to misinterpret the Bible. They're going around creating fake crises and locking people into IMF loans from crises that they created to economically sabotage the country, like they've been economically sabotaging me because I don't want to bend the knee to their fake Saturn, because he believes in pettiness, oppression, and stagnation. And the God that I love, the only God that I know, believes in love, believes in progress, believes in unity. So they're mad that I know this, and they're all worshiping false idols to get artificial power. A lot of them are sacrificing their fans at for rituals at concerts, like Travis Scott did with Kylie, and then Beyonce just sacrificed one of her fans at a concert. So they going around sacrificing their fans at concerts. So y'all need to stop going to them devil worshiping concerts, because all they doing is collecting your name, doing facial scanning so they can figure out who they gonna sacrifice next. And this is going down in the United States government, okay? So they over here flying military helicopters over my home, aerial surveillance, harassing me and targeting me at stores, have the neighbors banging nonstop on the walls, shooting pellets at the home nonstop, had Wells Fargo illegally steal it. They shut off the power to my home after locking me out the access gate September 22nd during a bankruptcy stay coordinated with bankruptcy judge Sage McKinley Siegler over at Georgia Northern, because McKinley means white warrior. And I had told my attorney, David Jaffa, who's in Israel, he never was in the United States. He was basically litigating my case from Israel. And his two sons are in the military, meaning he's part of the Israeli government. They had Benji Malowski, stalking me at the Fontainebleau in Miami when they told me I had to go drop off a package at FedEx, and that was the only FedEx location. And I'm walking down the hall in my swimsuit, and he's standing there staring at me, gawking at me. I'm like, what is he even doing here in the United States? Aren't we supposed to be not at terms with whatever he's doing? Because he was over there committing uh, chaos and rituals and another. Because that's all he does, go around starting fights with everybody. So he's not even from where he's from. He's from Poland. He's from Poland. That's where he's from. Okay. So he gonna be dealt with at some point. He gotta pay. He gotta pay his toll. God gonna make sure he pay what he has done. And so that they mad at me for all of this. They're mad at me for attacking me with these people and then me calling them out. So they mad at me for that, because I know they're following Saturn, a planet, and they're not supposed to be following planets, targeting and terrorizing people, setting court cases to uh, full moons. That's when they wanted to set my court case to full moon. Sage McKinley Siegler. I asked her for continuation. She was like, no, it has to be on October 7th. So they made it on October 7th, the same day that Benji had his people murdered. Went and had them all murdered, sacrificed, talking about somebody else did it so he can declare war on another country. That didn't happen like that. He basically killed them people. And so that's a date that they like, the number 17, because they like to use the Kabbalah, the number 17, to target and terrorize people. That's why they had the neighbors banging on the foundation beam to my home nonstop, 24/7. Coordinated with Wells Fargo, Cedric Ward, who was a Georgia correctional officer, a Macon Sheriff, Department of Defense employee that they had living here on my property, that rigged the home up with all kind of surveillance cameras and traps where the neighbors are controlling the water, the electricity, the lights, all of that, the air vents, the temperatures from their units, targeting and terrorizing me for the United States government so they can sit here and be like, oh, have police come to my home when they're sending people outside to try to break into it. Police officer says, we're not taking a police report. They turn around and smoke a vape pen and then don't issue a police report, issue a service request and say, well, we didn't take a police report because the person's mentally unstable. No, I'm not mentally unstable. I'm very stable. I'm highly intelligent. That's why you guys have 6 counterintelligence agencies targeting and terrorizing me, because you know that I'm highly intelligent and you know that I'm hip to your BS. Because not only do I have a master's degree, I'm Jesus Christ trained, educated, and certified. So they mad at that. They mad at that. So I told these heifers to leave me alone. As you can see, they still at it. Shut the power off to the property after locking me out the access gate during a stay violation, blocking W-2 employment, blocking self-employment. Supposed to get I have all kind of degrees, jobs, licenses. They blocked everybody from hiring me, so I started my own business. Then they started interfering with the vendors, having them contact me, asking me if I want to print a 200-page document, drive an hour for $33, when it's going to cost $33 just to get there. So now they shut the power off. I asked churches over here in the area if they can help me. They told them not to assist. They got a Salvation Army blocked. Salvation Army ain't helping nobody in DeKalb County. They got Lahit that's supposed to be helping people. They blocked off. They not helping nobody in this area until January 6th. So they had Wells Fargo and the fake owners who they said owned the property May 6th. They didn't own the property on May 6th because it was illegally sold to them through Fannie Mae in August. So they filing papers in DeKalb County Court with a Judge Mara L. Block, who's stating that they're over here and I owe rent from May to now. No, I don't. First of all, you don't own this property. This is my property that was illegally stolen by Wells Fargo, coordinated with the United States government, that was having me assaulted while they were stealing the property. While they were stealing the property. So right now they're pissed off that I'm making this video because they know I'm going to post it to the internet. They pissed off, so they got the neighbors banging back on the walls again on both sides. Catherine Grace Pathello, she's a midwife at the local hospital with 11 visa exchange students violating immigration laws with and for the United States government. And on the other side, they have Leah Patrice Jones Menace and Dr. Jamil Angelo Menace, the Bahamas Prime Minister's son, and his fake wife, banging on the other wall, assaulting me with military weapons, banging on the walls, floors. The power shut off, but they still have illegal surveillance in the property because I told you they connected the power to their homes. So they can see where I'm at, what floor I'm on. They're over here banging on the walls. They had the neighbors setting off car alarms and horns, walking very loudly by the garage, shooting pellets at the home. They got Lawrence Bay and his Lorette Woods. She's Atlanta City Police, Atlanta City Council. No, Atlanta City employee. And then their son is a Georgia correctional facility. That's why they had LaShawn Thompson murdered in his cell and sent a bunch of pests through the vents because they was practicing sending pests through my vent, so they can send pests through my vents. Coordinated with the Georgia governor and his fake ugly looking wife, Martin Kemp. So they've been plotting and planning this for a while. So now you guys all know. I'm going to post the video now.